What up? What up? Welcome back to another week of Behind the Boot podcast. This is episode 8. So Behind the Boot, a Louisiana sports podcast where you can get everything Saints, Pelicans, LSU, football, basketball. Since we ain't got no MLB team, we cover the Astros as well. That's the home squad for us. So um, I'm gonna just start it off light, man. How y'all fellas doing?
Oh man, can't complain, Ryan. Can't complain.
I feel you. How
Tired,
you doing,
Ryan.
Jared? I
Tired.
feel it. I feel it, man.
Yeah, I
So,
tired, man.
Tired. But I can't complain.
so
I'm living.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So, real light week, man. They got some interesting stuff going on with the Pels. So, I wanted to start it off. We will kind of do like a little recap of what we thought about the season. I know we kind of talked about it before the last episode, but we'll just kind of recap what we thought was some bright spots of the year, what to expect going in the next year, and we can touch on a little bit of the stuff happening in the locker room. But what y'all think overall? Because now is the playing going on in the NBA right now. So obviously it would have been fun to see the Pels at least make it to that point. But looking back on the season, what y'all think? I'm gonna start with Dan. What you think about the season overall? Success or failure?
Underwhelming,
That's
disappointing.
the yeah, that's a good word to explain it.
Uh, I wouldn't consider it a complete, failure because at the end of the day, we're still a really young team and we don't have a leader. And I think we lost out here last year in Drew, but Drew wasn't a really, Drew's a star, but he ain't a superstar. You need a superstar to be your leader. You need that superstar that you can file and go in battle with. I just think as far as it being a couple of bright spots, you've seen Kyra had some good moments, kind of hit a rookie wall that last part of the season, got hurt and everything. And then Jackson really showed some outstanding improvement. Um, so I think that's a very big bright spot. And when Nall was healthy, you've seen a different element and um, different dynamic in the offense. With Nall on the court, this is pure scoring. So those, and Point Zion came about. I think Point Zion took the lead by storm, and he's probably a top. How would y'all say top 15, top 20 player in the NBA?
Shit, I'd say top 10. Might be
It's
being
just
a
real
little
hard for me.
biased, but
I like him. I like him. It's real hard for me. I think he probably having around that 12, 15 range to me. I think you could put at least
I,
10.
I mean, it's a lot of factors that go into something like that. But he was the top most effective player in the league as
Yeah, of
far as
course.
like player efficiency.
Pure
So
dominance. He's
I
dominant.
think if you and I'm saying that's not even just like a opinionated type thing. He has the highest efficiency score in the league. You know what I mean? So I think when you're talking about a player of that type of caliber, he at least got to be considered for the top 10. And maybe it might be biased for me, but I think he top 10.
I mean, I could have an argument for him being top 10. I mean, it's an argument, but just with me by me not being biased and me being objective as an NBA NBA fan or analyst, I would say he taking a fandom out of it. But I could say I could go out on a limb and say he's definitely top 15. Um, but I would say very underwhelming. Lack of urgency, lack of will to want to win, um, and inability to close out games. I listened to AD and RP3 and Company on 137 The Game, and they was giving a farewell to Louis Prejean, producer and everything, and he was the guest speaker, and he was before he got on there. They was talking about how the Pels lost 14 games um, when they had a lead under 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. That is
Yeah.
just difficult to swallow, to say the least. Just imagine if 7 of those games were going the other way. We're in the play-in. Easy.
Sickening, Dan, is what it is.
Yeah. I don't even
And
think
just
7, 2 or 3 more, and we would have been in.
just the just the total mental collapses with the Indiana game and what the game that was. The Indiana game when they lost to Malcolm Brogdon, that fucking floater. And what the game they just completely collapsed. Was it
Denver, a Denver game.
Denver, the Denver game, Sacramento they lost like close to with De'Aaron Fox. It's just terrible, man. It's just so hard me thinking back and just thinking just 3 or 4 games swing our way and know what the fortune would be. It's just underwhelming that they made this fucking play and basically to get Zion in the playoffs last year and he missed out on it 2 years in a row. They quit on Avalanche this year and they probably quitting on staying this year. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean I think a lot has to factor in with the injuries because I think losing Josh Hart really hurt them defensively. I think they were on another level when Josh Hart was hurt, and it just sucks because they lost Josh Hart and Nah like in the same game. So it was terrible. So underwhelming, underachieved, and just flat out disappointment, man. But the future is bright, hopefully. But sometimes you get tired of that fucking future talk. We need some fucking
Yeah.
results. And next year, or some ass need to be grass.
Yeah. That's a fact. What you think, Jared?
I feel pretty much the same. Very had high hopes. Well, as a fan, had high hopes, but honestly, everybody in the media had the Pels stinking up the place. Well, not stinking up the place, but
Right
what they
where
had,
they, right where they finish.
yeah, they had the Pels, low tier, missing the playoffs. All the main media outlets. So I mean, but as coming from a fan point, of course, we all expected more, especially with Zion coming back in better shape than what he was last year. Hopefully, another year of Bi and Lonzo all gelling together with Zion and and everything. But I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be a tough mountain to climb, anyways, with a new coaching staff. Of course, and they added Steven Adams. They added Eric Bledsoe. So they added new faces. So of course, it was going to be an adjustment. But I didn't expect it to be this bad. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right.
they can't. I heard Stan during his his interview, and he was basically trying to say he wasn't giving no excuses, but uh, like it was a COVID season, and they better have practice time, and it's a new coaching staff. But like Stan, you still giving excuses. Everybody went through the same shit that the Pels
Yeah.
went through. So you can't use
Yeah.
that as an excuse. I say, yeah, it sucks because yeah, you should have had more practice time. Yeah, you could have used more time to talk to your players and have them understand your philosophy more on defense. But shit, it's the NBA, bro. It's your job. You get paid millions of dollars to do what you do. You got to get it done. There's no reason why the talent that we had on the roster shouldn't have been in that play-in, at least in the play-in.
Yeah.
Facts.
So from my point of view, it's a failure. A, a failure, yeah, yeah. I must say it's a failure because you didn't make the play-in. You
Yeah.
had little expectations to make the play-in from the get-go, and you didn't make it. You didn't make those little expectations, so yeah, it's a failure in my book.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I'm gonna have a little hot take right here because I'm gonna try to talk as far removed from my fan perspective as possible. I think when I look at the organization as a whole, when you think within the past 3 years you traded away two of your centerpieces, you know what I mean? You pretty much forced to build around a rookie, honestly. Like Zion was still a rookie this year. Like he didn't play much. Even the games he did play in this past season, minutes restrictions, you know what I mean? Like he reached the 82 game mark this year. So
Basically,
basically you building around a rookie. You traded away your two centerpieces within the past couple years. Like any other organization that do that is in full rebuild mode. You know what I mean? So to kind of like looking at it from that lens, I think expecting them to actually compete in the postseason is kind of like not fair to them.
yeah,
And then you add in the fact that when they hired Stan, he only really had like 3 weeks to start his way of doing things. You know what I mean? So they pretty much started the season where the COVID protocols was taking over the whole process. You know what I mean? Like I was which I really hate this dude. I even hate talking about him now, but I was listening to JJ Redick podcast a while back, and he was talking about like what it was like testing. Like they would finish a game at the Smoothie King, and they had to go and get tested, get cleared and everything for the plane. Then they'd hop on the plane. They'd have to fucking get tested again when they landed, and then you get a few hours of sleep, and now you got to try to do shoot arounds and everything in the morning for the next game. Like they was all tired and frustrated with, just how the season was going in general from the COVID stuff. So
Yeah.
I do understand that all the other teams was dealing with that too, but it is kind of hard to, learn a new playing under a new coach, adjusting to a roster and all that stuff. So I kind of cut him some slack. And then I did see a lot of positives that I didn't expect. You know what I mean? Like Jackson Hayes played a whole lot better than I expected him to play, which is almost a crime that they making him play in the summer league because I think he passed a summer league level player, but that's another combo for another day. I really like Zoe in the games where he did show that he was playing well. He played extremely well. You know what I mean? He had a game where he knocked down eight threes in one game. That's impressive. It's only a handful of people in the league that can do stuff like that. So I like what I saw from him. I like the improvement out of people like Najee that I didn't expect to be shit at all. You know what I mean? Like a two-way guy stepping up into a big role, showing he can actually contribute to the team. Kyra played damn good for a rookie. You know what I mean? There was a lot of bright spots in the season, and I think the only spot that they failed was David Griffin getting Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe. That was the only failure to me. And then when they had the decision to keep George Hill, I think he would have been a way better trade asset than Bledsoe. They'd have
Yeah,
just kept
that's yeah.
kept
Should
George
have
Hill,
kept him.
but
I mean, I
it,
I mean, you can't really expect Steven Adams to be a fair like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody figured that he was gonna be that much of a bad fit. In the system. Eric Bledsoe too. I mean, coming off he was just named to first team all defense last year. You know what I'm
It's a
saying? So he
baloney.
was yeah, which is baloney anyways. But nobody expected him to play like he did. Like everybody was expecting him to kind of pick up their Drew Holiday role on the defensive end.
yeah,
But he all showed us that he wasn't capable of that at all. Not even close.
I
Dude didn't
think
even come to even close to playing any type of defense all season long.
yeah.
So
I
Well,
really think that Steven Adams though, like I just don't know how to feel about that because like Griffith's in a pickle. Like it was no way he knew that Jackson Hayes. He thought we didn't think Jackson Hayes was going to be ready to be the starting center coming to this year. So
yeah,
he had to do something. Now, if the Steven Adams trade, maybe he could have went get somebody else, maybe a Miles Turner or something like that. But I guess him thinking that he needs somebody to go and get these rebounds, because who's going to be under there getting all the dirty work? And that's what he was thinking. But on the offense's end, it's no spacing. He's not aggressive. He catches the offensive rebound. He just stands in the paint and fucking shovels his feet and throw the ball outside the paint again. Like he under the goal. Like he's 7 foot 240. Put your fucking shoulder down and dunk the ball. Like I don't even give a fuck if you block at this point. Like you gotta show me some aggression. You getting the offensive rebound, go up and dunk the ball in. Like you doing all that work to get the rebound, reward yourself. And that's what the problem was with Steven Adams. He's too unselfish in the fault. I think he'll be better served like being with two superstars, two veteran superstars that know that he just gonna grab the rebound and he'll play off of them. But we need somebody to be able to stretch the court. Like, there's no way we can play Steve Adams next year.
yeah. Well, that was my issue with the move because granted, I didn't think that Steven Adams would have been as bad as a fit as he was. But even going into it, I remember like just Pels Twitter as a whole talking about how you need floor spacing, which is like the obvious thing. Like, especially running this point Zion thing. Like, the most ideal situation is Zion bring the ball up, he attempt to make a move toward the goal. If he can score, score the ball. If not, kick it out to people that can shoot. And the problem is, that's what they did with nobody that can shoot on the outside. So it just our offense looked damn bad at times. And then at other times they look really freaking good. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I feel like Griff took a shot and it just missed. Like it's one of them situations where like you look back on it after it don't work and it's like you give him shit, but he took a decent shot. Like I give him some credit. It's like one of them situations where a coach go for two and don't get it. He looked like he the shittiest dude to ever coach. But if he get it and win the game, then you know what I mean. Then you the
Yeah.
greatest dude alive. So it's like that was where Griff was. So I kind of understand. I cut him some bail, but agreed. The season as a whole was very underwhelming. They wasn't competitive at all, which was disappointing when you got two all-star level players on the roster. So
Like I think though, like so I think where people tend to kind of get, well, not get, but misconceive things is, all right. So it's the difference between floor spacing and just shooting. So
yeah,
the floor was spaced, but just didn't have no fucking shooting. That's the
yeah,
difference. Like, cause you can have the floor spaced. People can line up on all four corners of the court, but it doesn't fucking work if none of them is a threat to fucking shoot. And that's where the problem
yeah,
lies. Because they tried to space the floor, you know what I'm saying? But there's no point of spacing the floor with Eric Bled shit that no one fucking takes serious. Steven Adams is not a threat to do anything but dunk a wide open dunk. You had Lonzo that he's a fucking hit or miss. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He's on sometimes and sometimes he's off. And BI, he's the sometime also. You know what I'm saying? He'd rather take mid ranges than threes most of the time. And Z, shit, we all know that Z is a in the paint beast. So
Yeah.
no one on the floor is really a threat to knock down an open shot consistently. And that's where
And
the problem lies.
that
Lies.
actually
You know what I'm
bring me
saying?
to what I wanted to talk about next, because what you said was nobody was a threat, even though they did try to like physically space the floor. Um, I wanted to talk what y'all think is gonna happen with Zoe and Josh Hart, because I really think Josh Hart ruined his chances of coming back just off the strength that whenever they would kick it out to him, he was the king of pump faking and not shooting the ball.
Yeah.
Like he was really the king of that. It was
He
so
has no
many
type of
times I would get so
confidence.
frustrated when he was
I think,
wide open and didn't
I,
shoot it.
but I think Josh Hart comes back because he brings that defensive element, and I think that's not Josh Hart game. My thing is Lonzo lives the 3 point line. When Josh Hart shoot a couple and he makes a couple, he shoots it. Like if he shoot his first three or four and he broke, he could say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna make a play." You know what I'm saying? I can respect that
Yeah.
about Josh Hart. But Lonzo will go 1 from 11 and continue to shoot that bitch from the
But
three,
I like that though
and
because
that's cool. I'm saying like you, but I'm saying I ain't got no problem with you continue to shoot. But you have to keep the defense honest. Like you got all this God given athletic ability. Jump out the gym, you're 6'6", got a 40-inch vertical. I seen you fucking do windmills and shit. You need to go to the goal and get an easy one. Go to the line, get a couple of free throws, get your rhythm going. Like you can't just come out and just jack. You're not Steph Curry. Like I mean, I like Zoe. I just feel like that's when his confidence. I mean, he doesn't lack confidence, but I just feel like he gets out of rhythm whenever he just goes starts off 1 for 7 from the three. When you can take it in, get a little mid range, and he showed me he got a mid range. He showed me he got one. So he got a little flow in the lane. Like that's his next step if Zoe does come back, is to continue to develop. Getting in the mid range and getting in the paint because you're a big guard. It ain't like you 6 foot. Like you can get in there and do a couple of floaters, draw some fouls and shit, and put some pressure on the bigs, so that way they're not just on Zion all the time.
Yeah,
and I
but
just feel like
and I agree. I do think he needs to work on that part of his game, and I know that is something that they was telling him he needs to work on. Like Spoon specifically had mentioned that, like he need to be more aggressive, going to the cup, working in the mid range, that type of deal. But the reason why I think Lonzo is good is because Stan mentioned a lot of times at the end of games that we lost where he was like, yo, I don't have a problem with nothing that happened tonight. My dudes put up the right shots. It just didn't fall. We know these dudes can make it. Sometimes you make them, sometimes you don't. And it just look bad when you lose. But if one or two of them shots fall that didn't fall, we would have won the game. You know what I mean? And like for the fans, it's definitely one of those things where it's like you don't really care about all that. You want to see your team win. But I think Zoe has taken the right shots. He might not have made all of them, and he might have missed a couple big ones that we really needed him to hit. But he always took the right shot. I'd rather somebody go 0 for 20, taking the open looks, than pump faking and not going up at all. It still end up the same result, no points. You know what I mean? So take the shot. That's why I think Josh Hart might be gone because the only thing people can say is his energy and defense, but he come with a heavy price tag just for energy and defense. Honestly, if we were looking for energy and defense, William Gabriel can do that, and he's more of a size of a traditional three. Josh Hart is an undersized three.
But that's when you put Josh Hart at two though, because
yeah, you put him at a two,
we all
what he can
seeing
do.
what guards did to these guys all
Facts.
season long. They
Yeah,
couldn't even guard De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I'm not trying to shortchange the guys of his talent and everything because he is talented. But I mean, there's no way this guy should be dropping 40 points every time you play the Pels. There's just
Exactly,
no
and,
way.
and, and, and that and that's why I think we should keep Josh Hart because I think if you put Josh Hart on a D Lil, I mean I ain't saying he gonna stop D Lil, or I'm not gonna say he gonna stop De'Aaron Fox or anything like that, but I'm saying he gonna slow them down. Like he got a body, and
Yeah.
he's strong and he's quick and he's gonna fight and claw. Like man, I like Zoe, but like they always put Zoe on the off ball. Like if there's like a dominant point guard like a Steph. Like you never see Zoe guarding Steph or guarding D Lillard. They put Bledsoe on him, and Bledsoe be getting cooked. Like you could put
yeah,
Josh Hart on him, and like I'm saying, like you ain't got to start Josh Hart. I'm saying if you see these motherfuckers getting their ass dropped off, which where to me this is where Naw come into play. You could start Zoe, and you could start Naw. Now you got 2 6'6" guards that you could switch on everything on either you got a scoring guard and you got a point guard. They can guard both of them, and they both can switch and they both can play on both. They both got good defense. So and then Naw brings the offense to the game to where like Zoe won't feel pressure to like, oh I gotta hit 4 5 threes today. Well no you don't. Like I need you to go 2 for 6 from three and get me 15 points and 7 8 assists. That's what I need you to do.
yeah,
Like that's my problem with Zoe again. Like I said before, is that he doesn't put up a consistent stat line in and out of games. Like he'll give me 28 one game, and then he'll come by and give me 5 points, or he'll give me 7 points, and it's
yeah,
just too many empty possessions, empty calories. Like he come out and talk about, which I'll say, he might take a good shot from three, but like that's I'm going back to my boy Antonio Daniels. Just because you open doesn't mean it's a good shot. They're giving you that shot for a reason, for you to take it, and it's taking everybody else out of rhythm when you taking a 3 pointer and you're breaking.
Effects.
It's
yeah,
demoralizing. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem with Zoe. Like sometimes you get more respect. Like all right, fuck it. Like I missed my last 5 3 pointers. I'm putting my fucking head down and I'm going to the rack. Like you get more respect that way, knowing that hey, look, I'm trying to affect the game in a different way than just me by bringing my shooting to the game because he acting like he a 3 and D player, which and he not like he's a playmaking slasher basically or playmaking defender. You know what I'm saying? Like he
yeah,
like a mix between that. He not no fucking playmaking sharpshooter. He ain't none of that. Like he needs to move the ball and get him involved. Which I'm saying, and even though we got Zion, I still think that he can still play make with the ball. Like he can still handle the ball, even if we got points on. I just think at certain times in the game, we need to give Zion the ball so he get in the rhythm. But it doesn't mean that Zoe is not the point guard.
Yeah, which I think that's kind of the consensus between the players. Like the players want Zoe running, like moving the ball, but for whatever reason, Griff just got a freaking hard on for this point Zion shit. Which, like you said, is cool. Like sometimes in some matchups and some situations, like Zion taking the ball up and handling the ball works, but you don't need that for everybody, like every possession. You don't need that. You know what I mean? Like Zoe needs to be the one handling the basketball.
Facts.
So
I
I
think he builds out the defense too much. That makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Dan was saying, like it doesn't take you nothing but just pump fake or just say, "Hey, I missed my 5 last 3s. I'm gonna try to give me a foul call, or I'm a drive, and then of course if I beat my defender, I'm drawing help from a center or whoever is guarding Zion, and that can make up, for an easy dunk. And because you're drawing the defense, you're penetrating the defense, so somebody got to help the defender that was guarding you, and then that leaves somebody else open. You know what I'm saying? It's like plays like that
yeah.
that can help Zoe get in his rhythm better and get everybody else easy shots. You know what I'm saying? Like move the ball, bro. Like Dan
And get
said.
himself easy shots, man.
Yeah,
Because
man.
I mean, like I said, shooting a three ain't all that easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they make it look easy, but that's really a far ass fucking shot in the NBA. That shit ain't just no no easy peasy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They practice that shit. Like that shit can fuck with your head once you start missing a couple of 3 pointers. Then you broke, and then your confidence is shot, and it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's what lead into what Griff was talking about at the end of the year is he was saying we can't make that mistake with the roster ever again. Like regardless of what how difficult 3-point shooting is and all that extra stuff, niggas are hitting threes at a high clip in this league. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like it's just I was listening to Nola Jake talk about it on his podcast, and he was saying it's a simple math equation. If you playing 85% of the league is shooting threes at a high clip, it's simple math that you basically down a point every possession. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If they shooting threes and you can only score at the rim, because we can make whatever excuse we want. Teams are hitting the threes, like a lot of them. Most
Oh yeah.
teams, you know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't understand why that's so difficult for the Pels. So Griff need to go out and whoever can't hit a shot, get rid of them. You gone. Like you have to make threes in this NBA. That's
Got
just
to.
what it is. You know what I mean?
which is why I don't understand the obsession with Eric Bledsoe. I just don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
the
I don't.
obsession with him. Like
I
I
think
don't understand.
I think it was more so Stan as a defensive philosophy type coach, and looking at the stats that he put up in Milwaukee in that defensive oriented
Mm-hmm.
team, Bled was very good in Milwaukee. Like he was when they looked at because I seen a stat comparison of Eric Bledsoe last year and Drew Holiday this year, and it's very minimal. The jump between Drew and Bled is super small. Like they stats was pretty much identical. Drew just give you a little more offense. But defensively, they was pretty much neck and neck. You know what I mean? So I think I don't really blame Griff for going with Bled. Like I see why they made that call. It just didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just didn't. It didn't pan out. But
And
it
you
is
gotta
what it is, man.
not just shooting though. We gotta get some rim protection, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's
They
a
got that though. They
in
kept our
Jackson.
reputation on the bench the
That's what
whole
I'm
year.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a crime to know that Zion is leading the team in blocks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and we all know, yeah, Z has every once in a while, a highlight pin off the glass, or whatever. But let's face it, he's no rim protector. You need a rim protector. You know what I'm saying? Jackson, when he started playing again, it was like a
My light went off,
noticeable
bro.
difference,
My
Yeah.
light
when he
went
was in
off.
the game. There was no easy buckets with Jackson in the game. It's like
And I do say
that's
this.
what you need. What you
I
need,
do
man.
say I do say that I do give Steven Adams some credit in developing Jackson. I think Steven Adams set Jackson down and actually taught him how to play big man. I really believe that because whenever you see Jackson coming off the bench, the first person greeting him is Steven Adams. Like I think
Yeah,
Steven Adams really took him under his wing, and he seen that Jackson getting benched really hurt his confidence during the year. I think Jackson took him under his wing, and he really learned body position. That's my thing with Jackson. That's what he didn't understand. Like, yeah, he would jump and like contest shots, but he'd always foul. Now he's meeting people at the rim. Like he not even worried about your body. Like you not gonna get this ball to the rim. Like, I'm gonna just put it on the glass. I'm gonna just swat that shit out of fucking bounds. I'm not even worried about what you do with your body. Like I'm gonna just play the ball at the rim. And like you seen like a dramatic improvement of him able to block shots and like his ability to stay in front of guards and switch and shit, man. Like that's like it was miles away. And I think Steven Adams at this point in his career can't really do that no more. And Steven Adams used to be able to do that. Like, stay in front. He was an athletic big man. Like he just couldn't shoot, but like he was a good defensive acre. And I think like Steven Adams taking him in his wing really made Jackson blossom. And I think I don't know. I always said, bro. I always told y'all, bro. Jackson Hayes got a good stroke. I said that shit. I said, man, you can tell when he shoot free throws, man. He can shoot. Like, and you seen that, like, and a small summer size again, but that ball can shoot, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, if they unleash, fuck that. They unleash Zion. It's time to unleash Jackson. Like, it's time to have
yeah,
him on high screening rolls instead of rolling him all the time. He can pick and pop with him. Like, imagine that defense. Imagine running a pick and roll with Jackson and Zion and Zion and Jackson fucking do a pick and pop instead of pick and roll. So now you gotta choose on whether you fucking guarding Jackson from three or you gonna double team Zion going to the goal. So imagine that fucking side of the offense opening up. It's just so many more options out. Would actually, and like I said, bro, the 2019 draft class, bro, is gonna be the Achilles heel of the Pelicans on whether this boat sinks or swim with Zion leaving. Like,
well,
if
I think it's already confirmed that that draft class is doing what it need to do though. Like I think Null is we know what Null give us.
yeah, but
He's
they need to be
solid.
on the court now. You know what I'm saying? This time for them to be on the court. Like it ain't no more bullshit. Like they need to be starting together and let them learn together
Well,
right
that
now.
that's what I was about to get at. Is if Griff is gonna allow them because I feel like yeah they're young players, but at a certain point, players know like yo, if I'm Jackson Hayes, I'm looking at the situation. I'm like yo, if I look at as far as impact at the center position, by far Jackson Hayes was the best center on our team this season. And you send me to the summer league, dude. You bench me mid-season. Like, granted, his first half of the year wasn't as great as the second half, but even once he came back from the benching, his minutes was very limited. Like, if Willie Hernan Gomez, no disrespect to him, because I love Willie, like he a baller. But man, if I'm Jackson Hayes and Willie Hernan Gomez is starting over me, I got a problem, bro. Like I really got like you telling me I gotta earn minutes and then people like Eric Bledsoe shooting 3 air balls a game, but I gotta earn my minutes and I'm out here dunking on people, teabagging them, shooting threes, getting 5 blocks in one game. Like, and I still can't get my minutes. Like, I got a problem with that. Griff and Stan have to make sure that they put these younger guys in the best position to win. Because, like you said, that's the key to our success. Unless we go out and get some crazy free agents or something, we get a big signing. But like going in the next year, if we talking about like what Griff say, sustainable success, where we a good team for years to come, it's gonna be
Time
on
to play them.
Nikhil. It's gonna be on Jackson. It's gonna be on Zion. It's gonna be on Bi. Like these
And
are the
DD
dudes
too.
that, yeah, DD too. So it's like you got to put these dudes in a position to win. I'm tired of seeing Eric Bledsoe, which is obviously not our long term answer. Even if he was a younger dude playing like he played, he ain't show me nothing that was convincing he was gonna make a strong impact. You know
Not
what
for
I'm saying?
$19 million. That's
Nah,
my thing is not for
definitely not.
$19 million a year. Like that's ridiculous. I feel like maybe if he'll come back for five and come off the bench, maybe
Uh,
with that kind of production. But Nah, he ain't worth no fucking 19 million a year. Like fuck no. Like hell no.
Hell no.
Yeah,
Hell
Fuck
to
no.
the no.
I'd rather get at the Josh Hart. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Trade his ass
yeah,
for a fucking bag of Lay's potato chips and a Diet Coke, and let Josh Hart get that money, bro. Cause fuck
yeah.
Eric Bledsoe.
I'd be with that. I'm just curious to see because I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna hurry up and wrap this up so we can move on to the next little topic. But I saw Josh Hart liking people tweets that was saying he was leaving. Like they had certain people. I can't remember what team it was, but they said Josh Hart to I think it was the Bulls or something like that, and he went and liked a bunch of tweets about him leaving New Orleans. So it, I don't know if he wanna be here. I ain't gonna say that mean he wanna leave, but he was definitely out there liking tweets. And when you an NBA player, you know dudes is checking your likes. Like they screenshotted that shit immediately, and it was going around Pell's Twitter that he liked the tweet. So we'll see what happened with Josh Hart. At least Zoe vocally said, which he kind of gave a little half-ass answer. He said he had to talk to his agent about it, but he expressed that he wanted to be back. The stars on the team expressed that they wanted him back. So that's another thing. I feel like if they don't get the deal done with Zoe, you slapping your two all stars in the face. They both said bring Zoe back. Like specifically bring Zoe back. So
And like another thing they said, this comes from like Ali Cassell from the Bird Rights. I think they might bring Zoe back, but if they miss the playoffs next year, and Brandon Ingram trying to push his weight around, Brandon Ingram gonna be gone. They're gonna trade him,
I'm cool with that though.
and that's a
Honestly.
very big possibility because you trying to push your weight around. But let's be keep it real here. They treated you like an all star this year, and your ass got double teamed. And guess what you wouldn't do? Guess what you wouldn't do? You start turning the ball over and pouting like a little girl,
Yeah.
and just disappearing for long stretches of the game,
That's
for
fact.
quarters at a time. You wouldn't even know that Brandon ain't on the fucking court because why y'all double teaming me, man? Like why y'all doubling me? Zion getting fucking quadruple team in the paint. What you bitching for? Make a goddamn play. Swing the ball. Shoot a three. Make a shot. Play some
Yeah.
defense.
And that I understand. Like defensively, I give you that. No defense for him on that. Like I don't have no defense for his lack of production on the defensive end. But what I will say is, if I'm Bi, and there's literally nobody to put the ball in their hands besides him, like teams were literally triple teaming him at times. So, and then even with that being the common theme over the season, he still produced an identical stat line to what he was last year as an All Star. Like obviously that didn't translate into wins, but I think that's more so on the supporting cast and not him. Because if we had anybody that he could just kick the ball to and can do anything with the damn ball, we would have been straight. Honestly.
Bunch of empty
Yeah.
calories go around with Brandon
It's a
Ingram.
little
You
bit
know
of
what I'm
both.
saying?
It's a little bit of both, in my
I,
opinion. Because last year, of course, he got to the rim more last year.
exactly.
He got, and I understand like it's a little bit of both. It's him not willing to go as hard to the paint, and it's also the supporting cast when you got Zion, Steven Adams, and niggas that can't shoot. That's like three more people in the paint just waiting for you to come in the paint. And him, he go to drive, he see three people just waiting for him. He's like, oh shit, now I'm just gonna pull up for this mid range and brick it, and just
Yeah.
start this little mid range fucking game I have. It's like, dude, that's not effective. Like,
Yeah.
no one shoots mid ranges no more unless you're Bradley Beal or somebody that's like Kevin Durant or somebody that's just unstoppable from mid range. It's like, dude, you're not unstoppable from mid range. So
And he
stop
can be
fucking
that.
doing it.
But
I
I
will
think
I
he can
will
be more with Kevin Durant because he got the size
But
to
he's
do
not
it,
right
but
now.
he
He's
just
not.
don't. I don't think he perfected his craft the
well
way Kevin Durant should have mid range. That's
he
like
had
lift for Kevin.
yeah, he had stretches initially like in the beginning of the beginning half of this year where that mid-range was falling. Like I remember there was like a stretch of like 8 games where AD was talking about like, yo, that mid-range is a layup for Brandon Ingram. Like when he get to his spot and pull up, you just know it's falling. I think as the season progressed and teams started to watch tape and notice like, yo, it's either Zion at the rim or BI in this mid range. we focus on this too. There's literally nobody on this team that can do that. What are you gonna do? Kick it out to Eric Bledsoe and he airball it? Like all you gotta do is be there. Don't let Zion get under the rim and be there when Bi try to get in that little spot at the elbow where he do his little, his little mid range pull up. We was just too one dimensional as a team. So I think if Bi had even a slight threat, you know what I mean? Like look at what his threats was in the front half of the year. JJ Redick, Nico Melli, you know what I mean? Like who you passing it to? Eric Bledsoe? Like there was literally nobody. So I cut him some bail on that. But I do agree with Dan. If they don't make like if they miss the playoffs again next year, trade Bi. I'm cool with that trade. Trade him, get you shit. I'll even take one or two role players for him. You know what I'm saying? Like we figure it out, but it's no point in him sticking around if he can't make a serious impact going into next year.
I'm just saying, like, it's just no point of you paying him a max contract and he pushing his weight around tomorrow. I want this and this back, but you not on the court. Like whenever we needed you the most down the stretch, you're not on the court. Down the
Yeah.
stretch when we needed you for them fucking 6 games, you out the game.
Yeah.
Like if you're injured, don't play. But from what I'm hearing, your ass is walking just fine. Like you got like this is your time to fucking lead. Put your team on the back. Now you don't have Zion to paint the paint no more. Why are you not in the game?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Like I said, with Bi, just a bunch of intercalories. You know, he scored 18 points in the fucking first half, and then he scored fucking 4 in the fucking second half, and scored
Yeah.
23 points. Like that's the kind of shit he do.
Yeah.
And that's why we
Uh,
lost a lot of games. Them 14 games we lost in the fourth quarter. Bi is one of the main ones that disappear and don't show up. That's why.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, I can agree with that. I think it's a little harsh just because I think going into the stretch, teams know he's the guy that's taking the shot. Like even before the second half of the year, I remember in that front half, he was when we drew up a play in those situations in the fort, it was for Bi, and teams knew that. Like even with Zion on the court at the same time, like they knew the ball was going to Bi. Like he was the man, the alpha. But we'll see if they get him some help next year. I think shit can be real different. But I just want to touch on this before we wrap up because I know we've been running for a minute here. Um, is it y'all think it's really smoking the city for SVG, man?
A little bit.
I think where there's smoke, there's fire. But like I said, this team will do what Zion want to do. I think David Griffin will sit Zion down and ask him how he really felt about SVG. And if he roll with his partners, I think they go somewhere else. Which I really don't believe that Stan was the right hire. Now I think Stan is a decent coach and knows basketball, but I really think that they should have went with a younger, more in touch with the NBA coach. But who am
Yeah.
I?
Well, I don't even think that Stan is out of touch with the NBA because like y'all know I would listen to every post game and every time he talked about where we went wrong and what we could have did better. Like he understand what should be happening. I think the issue is he can't effectively communicate to the team when everybody dislike him. You know what I mean? And I've been following a lot of people that like really cover the Pels and pretty much Stan personality is intense. And it worked back in the day when people were more tough shelled, but nowadays people just it feel played for everything, bro. So when you talk to people a certain way and you stern and direct, I don't think a lot of times people respond to you well unless y'all already have that relationship built up. And obviously Stan didn't have time to build that relationship with his players ahead of time. Like everybody was annoyed with him. And it's just his personality. Like I remember somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody pointed out one of the last couple games in the season, in the post game, um, they asked Stan what he thought about Winyon Gabriel performance. And it's like the second to last or the last game. So we already knew shit was over. they asked him what he thought about winning. Instead of just, go out there and be like, the guy played hard. He gave us energy, exactly what we needed out of him. Just say some nice shit. Dude decides to go up there and talk about all the things that Winion could have did better. And it's like, come on,
Yeah,
dude. Like, the season over. Winion Gabriel is not a star on the team. Like, you don't have to go and like shit on a dude in the post game conference. You know what
big
I'm saying? Like,
facts.
that's not what you do if you want to maintain the respect of your players. You know what I mean? Even if that was how you felt, because honestly, I'm pretty sure whatever when you did that game probably wasn't anything super impressive. You know what I mean? So he wasn't wrong in assessing his play, but it's just like you gotta know when to say things and when not to say it. So honestly, I hope they fire him.
Hey,
Somebody brought
Ryan,
up,
that was in the NO podcast, Shamit Dua and Mason
oh yeah,
podcast.
you right, you right.
But yeah, they were saying that he's more of like a kind of like a dick mood. You know what I'm saying? Like he can be a dick at times. Probably when he don't even notice it, but he just
And
got that dick personality
yeah, and I
type
don't I
deal. You know
don't
what I'm
think
saying?
he mean
No
harm when
harm.
he say stuff
Yeah,
like that. He's from a different era where you could say shit like that and it wasn't offensive. But now I think, like I say, people just sensitive these days. Like you
bro.
gotta kind of
He
watch how you
come
navigate
he
shit.
he Jeff Van Gundy, his brother was a dick, and Stan come from like a Pat Riley coaching tree. Pat Riley was a fucking dick. Like
Yeah.
those
See,
some
but
Hall of Fame coaches that like those some good, that's some tough nose. Like Pop is a dick, but people respect Pop because Pop got 5 rings.
yeah,
Facts.
but it's different when
Pop,
you.
I'm saying, and Pop is cool. That's another thing. Pop is old, but Pop not in, like Pop is a player's coach, but like Pop is a dick. Pop will let you know, hey man, Tim played like shit today. Like he would criticize his Hall of Fame players. Hey, Tony Parker couldn't hit the backboard if it was laying in front of him while he was sleeping. That's the kind of shit that fucking Pop
Yeah,
would say, but they
but
respect him. You know what I'm saying?
it's different when you build your rapport with your players. Y'all
Yeah.
have already proven that y'all can win together. Like it just come off insensitive at the end of a struggling ass season. Like Pop would say that, you know, in a playoff series game, he go in the post game after a dub and be like, "Yo, Tim couldn't hit shit tonight, but we found a way to get the win." Like it's different saying it in that way than coming off a loss when you just got eliminated from playing contention and shit don't even really matter. If he played like shit, oh well, bro. Like it don't
Yeah.
even nothing is the point to say that outside of offending them. You know what I mean? Or losing the respect of your players.
So, question: like, what's your 1 to 10 on that he does get fired, or does it depend on like who becomes available, or like who gets fired?
Nah,
If there's
I
a
say I say he still got one more season, at least one more season. They're gonna let him
Yeah.
play out next season. Now, if he starts terrible, then they're fine. But I feel like Stan, two things. He never had a chance to actually engage and actually, talk to his players because of COVID, because like they said, they had to be separated. They couldn't even go meet each other in the hotels before games to talk. Like they couldn't even have dinner with each other, you know what I'm saying, while they was on road trips. So I'm looking to see if that improves going to next season. And number two, let's face it, we wouldn't be talking about this if they was winning. You know what I'm saying? None of this would
Yeah.
be out if they would be winning. But it's just the fact that the type of season they had, causes to place the blame somebody. It's like, oh shit, well there gotta be some problems going on, in the Pearls locker room because the frustration and shit that they showed on the end of the season interview. It's like if they was winning, if they was in the playoffs, no one would give a fuck because Stan. That means everybody is listening to Stan. That means the team was winning. Team success comes with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's just say like a Brad Stevens become available. Like the Celtics decide, what, like we just ain't gonna fuck with you no more, Brad. Like, do the Pels make a move and go after a coach like that?
It's
Man, not
possible.
not this season. I don't like this.
Yeah, I think they'll for sure, like it's like a 99% chance Stan will be the coach next year, unless something happened that nobody know about. Because pretty much like what I was gathering from listening to a lot of people that actually cover the team and they around the team often, you know what I mean? Like they actually do this, is that it's just the frustrations that come with losing. That is not
Yeah.
nothing that they think is like blowing up the front office or nothing like that. It's just obviously people like Zion, people like Bi, they want to be competitive, and when they not competing, you get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So I give them, I give them another season. I think if next year resemble a normal NBA season, and they able to practice and actually spend time around each other and prepare better going into next year, I think the outcome of next year will be a whole lot better, and then Stan will keep his job. But I did hear in that same podcast that they might be grooming Spoon to be the head coach, and I would really love that because people love her. I would love that, Dan. I don't know why you making that face. I'm telling you, Dan, that would be the way to go. Give her the head coaching job.
I know about head coach, but I like to see as an assistant first before a head coach.
Give her the head
Yeah,
coaching
she
job,
no
man.
no no. She gotta be sitting for because Becky Hammond been an assistant coach on the Pop for like 8 years, and if she ain't got a
Yeah,
head coaching job yet, Spoon shouldn't get no goddamn head coaching job yet. Just keep it a
yeah.
buck. I
And
like
even
Well, I
Spoon though.
mean,
yeah,
it's
even
not
though
gonna
everybody
be
respect her,
next year. You know what I mean? But if you grooming somebody over the course of the next few years, I would say it gotta be her, bro. Like she very well respected, and I think people play. You play way better. Like let's say we go into some situation together, and I'm like, yo, Dan, I really need you to come through for me. Because you fuck with me, you might do some shit that you probably don't feel like doing, but you might do it just because I really need you to. If Spoon leading the pack and she telling these niggas like, look, we gotta win these fucking games. You more motivated to play for somebody who you respect, who you look up to, who you know what I mean? Or if you go in the huddle and it's Stan hollering with his little annoying ass voice, you don't respect him. Bled said it after the game, like, look, the dude said this was the play, this what we should have did. I wasn't listening to Stan. Nobody even want to hear him talk. Then he forgot the foul and we lost the game. You know what I mean? Because he just wasn't listening. That's a problem. Like when you play, but we'll keep an eye. I think went a little hard on the Pels, man, but we'll keep our eye on it. I think the it would have been nice to see him in the play-in. Play-in going on right now. I wonder who winning the Golden State game. That's actually going on right now.
It's close
What's the
78,
score on
73.
that? Yeah. 78, 73 Grizzlies up going in the fort. Would have been nice to see the Pels in that, man. Hopefully next year. Honestly, I hope they keep the play in as a thing. I know that was kind of just a little new shit for the COVID year, but I hope they keep that as a thing because for sure, we'll be a playoff team next year. But I think unless y'all had anything else y'all wanted to add, that should be good for this week, man. Y'all had anything else y'all wanted to touch on before we get up out of here?
yeah,
Shout
right.
out to them Strolls, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get a segment together for next week for them Strolls, man, because they've been on a roll lately. So
You talking
That's
about
the
the
we
fact.
cheaters? Talking about the cheaters?
what you say?
Yeah.
Watch your watch your fucking mouth, Jared.
Yeah, there's some cheaters. There's some cheaters. Beat on the barrels and shit. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, everybody do that. The Colorado Rockets just got accused of cheating like today. So niggas been doing that shit for centuries. They
Yeah,
just want to go ahead
everybody
and put the
do shit.
stroll. They just want to go ahead and put the stroll on there because they hating because we had the best young core in MLB, and they were like, what the fuck the Astros got that for? Like they shouldn't have that. And guess what they did? They broke it all up. We lost like all our young core. Like just the only people we got left is Altuve, Bregman, and that's it. Altuve and Bregman, and we got a bunch of young players.
Good.
Watch your mouth, Jared.
Ryan froze again, y'all.
Yeah.
Go Stros.
We'll definitely, I'm here. I can hear y'all. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we wrapping up anyway, man. If y'all came back for episode 8, we appreciate y'all stopping by and rocking with us, man. We'll be back
Big
next week.
facts.
We'll get into updating y'all on what the Astros doing next week. But until then, we're gonna holler at y'all, man. Y'all let the people know where they can find you at.
Go Dan.
Look at DJ Go on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, Daniel Papillon. But I'm here.
And your boys
That's what's up.
go with the flow. Go with WIT_DA flow. Spell the Cajun way on Twitter. Jerrette Popillion on Facebook. Get at your boy.
Y'all go follow my boy Jerrette, man. If y'all trying to follow me, at Lil Doom SJE, Instagram and Twitter, y'all holla at me. Let us know if y'all liked our takes. If y'all think we got it wrong, let us know that too, man. We'll be back next week.